guys, it's Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and I'm doing a tag video today. It is the 21 questions tag put on by the lovely Olive, so definitely check out her channel, and I will put a link to her channel down below. So since I like to keep my videos short, I'm going to try to go rapid fire with these questions. Question number 1, have you ever written your own spells or workings? Yes, I have. I definitely have a lot of spell books, and sometimes I follow them exactly, sometimes I don't, sometimes I just go with whatever my gut is telling me. You know, if I don't have a particular herb or a particular stone, I improvise with the things that I have. Sometimes I write down some of my bigger spells, sometimes I don't. Because usually it's, I'm always performing some sort of, magic, every day. So I would say the last thing I did was I had a knee injury from working out. And what felt right to me was to get a green candle. I took my an obsidian stone. I placed the stone on my knee, and I did a lot of visualizing, bringing in Archangel Raphael, and visualizing this blue light and then green light surrounding my knee, and just like filling up my knee, and this, kind of inky blackness, falling away. And of course I had some, incense and things like that, and there was, kind of a mantra was going on inside my head. But it's little things like that as things arise, I might do a little spell. Question number 2, within my path, or in my craft, what do I identify as? I would say, number 1, I'm eclectic. And I'm kind of a mixed mash of hedge witch and green witch. Question number 3, have I ever walked down a different path before? Yes, I have. When I was younger, I was raised Catholic. I was baptized Catholic. And so I had, I don't know, I would say I followed along with what we did in the church, but the church never really resonated with me. So I kind of had my own belief system kind of mixed in with my religious teachings. I went to CCD and all of that. So for a while I was kind of on the semi-Catholic path. I wouldn't say it was full-on Catholic, but that's definitely where I was before I found my current path. Number 4, what time of day calls out to my craft? I would say sunset. I think sunset is beautiful. I love the colors in the sky, especially here in San Diego, all the oranges and the pinks and the greens, and it's just so, it's like a rainbow in the sky, to me it's almost like looking through rainbow colored glasses when you're looking out into the sunset, and for me that's so magical. And so if I'm going to be doing any type of magical work, it's going to be at sunset. Number 5, my fave incense or type of candle. I do have a favorite type of candle. It is my frankincense candle, and it's made of, you guys can't smell it, but just take my word for it, it's awesome. I picked this up in Julian, California, and they have these handcrafted candles. It's made of beeswax, and it's just divine. The smell just, and sometimes I keep this by my bed because I just love the smell of it, and I know I could go back and probably buy more, but Julian's kind of far away and I don't really want to use all of it because it smells so good. As far as incense goes, I do have different types of incense, but I love above all else the smell of Palo Santo. So this is my Palo Santo stick, and I've had this forever, and I use it and use it and use it, and it's just like it never ceases to work. There we go. So stop working. Get my words right. So yeah. Number 6, what do I hoard? I would say mostly tarot and oracle decks. Secondly would be herbs. Question number 7, have I ever briefly crossed over or had contact with the dead? So I've never had a I would say crossing over type experience, but I do constantly have contact with the dead. And I would say the first time that ever happened, probably when I was about 4 or 5 years old, and it was with the spirit of a bird that I had. My mom had a couple of parakeets, and one was a blue parakeet named George, and Georgie, and the other one was a yellow parakeet named Rosie. The first time I had any contact with the dead. First, that was also my first death experience as a child. I saw Georgie was hanging upside down in his cage. I realized he was dead. My mom had we had a whole little like funeral for the bird, and we buried him. And my Uncle Danny was with me in my bedroom, and the bird had been buried outside my bedroom. And my Uncle Danny said, look, 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 you can see his spirit going up to heaven. And I looked out the window, and I was really trying, and I was like, oh, yeah, I do see his spirit. And I felt drawn to like still come out and talk to him every day. And yeah, that was kind of like my first like little experience. Question number 8, an interesting YouTube story that I came across actually was on Samantha Menzo's channel, Sammy. So she was talking about her grandfather, who she calls Papa, and how he had this dream of her as being like a toddler even before she was born. Of course, after she was born, this dream was confirmed that it definitely was his granddaughter. And they had such a close relationship, and that when he passed away, she was there with him, and she kind of gave him the okay that it was okay to cross over. And so she felt like, really good about having a hand in letting him know that it was okay to go. Later on, she said she had this interesting dream, after he had passed, that she was looking in a mirror and she could see him behind her, but she knew that if she turned around, she wouldn't be able to see him. And so what she got out of the dream is that the mirror was her heart and her mind, that, she's never not connected to her papa, that he's always in her heart and in her mind and with her soul. But she doesn't physically need to see him. She doesn't physically need to turn around and see him to know that he's always there. So I thought that was such a sweet, and I've oversimplified the story, but if you definitely want to hear the whole story, and it's a fantastic story, then definitely head over to her channel. Question number 9, my fave season, summer, and we are going into summer. I am a summer baby. Question number 10, advice to anybody facing criticism within or outside of their path. I would say definitely find a tribe of like-minded individuals, because being a witch or doing something that's outside the status quo is going to make people feel uncomfortable, just in general. So if, even myself being eclectic, I still have a group of friends that even though they don't follow my exact path, I know that I can confide in them and that I'm safe. And so you definitely need a core group of those people, whether it's a coven, whether it's just your homies from high school, or the, homies from the way back, or maybe it's a trusted family member. I also have an uncle who's like totally awesome, and I know that whatever I say to him, I'm not going to get any criticism, and so if you know you're going to be encountering some sort of criticism, and you will, if you're on a witchy path or a spiritual path, or any type of path that's outside the norm, gotta have this core group of homies, I would say, is the best advice. Question number 11, the first YouTuber that I binge watched. That would be Vix from New Age Hipster. That was kind of like my segue into all things woo-woo. Question number 12, who am I currently watching? That would be Elise from Wild Moon Woman. I love everything that she puts out on her channel. She is such a beautiful soul, and if you don't know who she is, you definitely need to go check her out. So Elise from Wild Moon Woman. Question number 13, what am I currently reading? I am currently reading Good Grief by Teresa Caputo, and I mentioned this in my May faves, and I mean it's meant to help people identify and work through grief, the loss of a family member, friend, whoever it may be, and also to recognize the signs in others. And it's definitely, I love that it's a different take than, let's say, a take that a psychologist would give you, or a doctor, or something like that. So it's nice to get a perspective from a medium. And so and I love her language too. Like, she's so down to earth and so totally cool, even though her mind is all up in the ethers. So definitely check out Good Grief. Question number 14, my fave coffee mug. It's my kitty mug. I love my kitty mug. It's definitely my fave coffee mug. I love nice big mugs because I love to drink me a lot of tea. Question number 15, to edit or not to edit? edit. Especially somebody like me, because I get kind of goofy and I say things kind of wrong sometimes. Not that I'm saying bad things, I mean that I jumble my words. And it doesn't help that I have like Invisalign in my mouth right now. It makes me sound like everything fluffy. So when I say my words backwards and jumble my words, I definitely need to edit myself. Okay, top 3 witchy books that I would say for any beginner to check out and have a look at. Number 1 is Anne Moore's The Grimoire for the Green Witch. For me, this was really awesome. I still use it. I still use it as a flip through. And it's her grimoire, and so it's got a lot of awesome information in there. I definitely refer to it mostly for herbs, because that's kind of what I'm into. So yeah, I would say check this out. Check out Moonology by Yasmin Boland. So if you're interested in getting in tune with the phases of the moon and figuring out when's the best time to maybe do some spell working or manifesting and things like that, then Moonology. I still refer to this book. I have my little tabs, and also working with the everyday moon. So if you're into that, then Moonology is for you. Okay, another book I would say is to check out a Llewellyn's Sabbath's Almanac book. So this one is the book for 2017, but as the New Year's come out, you might want to get another almanac, but I just found this so fun to work with. It really gets you in tune with the wheel of the year, all the Sabbats, all the Esbats, all the, and there's stuff that you can bake in there, there's stuff that you can make in there, there's spells in there, there's history, there's backstory, there's lore and mythology, and I find this to be very helpful and really interesting as we go on throughout our circle. And so I already have it bookmarked for Litho, which is coming up, and I am so excited. Question number 17, what is my recording device supported with? And to show you guys, so I'm currently holding my phone so that I can do this. Here it is. My cheap little tripod. It's I think it was like 10 bucks, and it served me well. I use my carbon fiber tripod only with my DSLR when I'm taking my professional pictures, and I really don't need something that professional when to support my cell phone. Question number 18 is tattoos and or piercings that I have. Okay, so we'll start with piercings. I have, obviously my ears pierced here. I have one extra piercing up here. Interesting story about that. When I was in high school, my mom decided that we'd have like a cool like girls' day or something, and we were at Plaza Bonita Mall. And we went in to get our ears pierced, but my mom, being kind of cheap, didn't want to pay for, me to get a second set of piercings and for her to get a second set of piercings. So we did one here, and then my mom did one on the other side, so that we only paid for one set of piercings. So there you go. As far as other piercings, I do have my belly button pierced. I'm like a 90s baby, what can I say? For tattoos, I used to have 2 tattoos. I now only have 1. I used to have the Gemini symbol on the back of my neck, but once I got into teaching, and it was highly visible, especially because at the time I had short hair, and I noticed that my students were starting to draw it on their papers, and I think you can definitely kind of be an individual in who you want to be, but I had a particular image that I was trying to convey to my students, and I didn't want like them to go home and I don't know, it was like, there's like a fine line you have to walk as a teacher, and a certain image, like a squeaky clean image that you have to have, especially nowadays. And so I went and had that removed. However, the one I will never remove is the one that I designed myself. And actually I still have the original paper that I drew it on, but I had drawn this. I drew this cartouche, and it's actually my last name phonetically spelled, since in ancient Egypt, things were done phonetically, and my last, and so I was more diving into the 18th dynasty, which I'm most interested in ancient Egypt, and I'm like a total like Egypt nut. Like I have so many books and I've done so much research, and after I felt like after a couple of years that this this cartouche really resonated with me, then I went ahead and got it, because I didn't want to just put anything on my body until I was 100% sure that, I wanted this design and it was perfect and it was sound and my research was correct. So yeah, there you go. Question number 19, a support system that I have for my craft outside of social media. I would say, my friends are very supportive of me and my craft, but I don't have anybody that kind of walks the same path that I'm on. I have friends who are energy healers. I have friends who are tarot readers. I have friends who are mediums, and some of my friends, some of the things they do, they don't make money off of them. They're just things that they do. It's, their hobbies, I guess, things that they love. But yeah, I would say that's my support system, and there are definitely people I can go to and talk to about certain things, but certain things, that are in my path, they may know the answers to. So yeah. Question number 20 says to promote myself. Well, my name is Tara and I'm from Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and how I came up with that name is I have a kitten puma named Wally. I am a workout buff, I'm a coach, I'm a personal trainer, so I love me some weights and I love me some tarot. So Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, KWT. I do all sorts of readings. Definitely check out my Etsy shop. That's under Kittens, Weights, Tarot. And I have scrying readings, I have conchomancy readings where I read with seashells, I have tarot readings, oracle readings, Lenormand readings. My readings kind of consist of, I might pull out some tarot cards, but I might add some oracle cards. Plus, because I am a medium and I do work with energies, I might also bring in some guides that might help with the reading. And sometimes loved ones do show up during a reading, and so it's kind of a conglomeration of stuff that happens during a reading. And I have all sorts of types of tarot readings, different links, if you want a 30-minute reading, and sometimes there's like a yes or no reading, like just a real quick one. There's like a $10 reading. There's, and sometimes right now I have 36% off in my shop because we're in the month of June and I'm gonna be turning 36 this year. So June is my birthday month. So I do have the coupon code up on my shop, if you are interested in purchasing anything in the month of June in my shop. And I'm kind of promoting the birthday readings, and what that is 12 one-hour readings sent to your inbox, like once every month. So it's like every month you get an hour-long reading of what you need to focus on, what guides are calling to you, messages, awesomeness, so that you can be the best person you can be at the end of the year. So I call those the birthday readings. So yeah, so if you are interested, check out my shop. Also check out my website, www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. Also check me out on Instagram at kittensweightsandtarot. And I'm also on Facebook. Question number 21 says to come up with my own question and to tag 2 people. Okay, so I'm going to be tagging Samantha Menzo, Sammy, and Imogene Walters. So my question is, tell a story. This isn't a question, it's more like a statement. Tell a story of your most awkward woo-woo moment. So I will tell you my story really quick. I used to film I used to do weekly readings, now I do monthly readings, and I used to film those readings in my front yard because I really like that I have a Buddha statue out there, and I love, the background with all my bamboo and stuff like that, and all my plants and flowers, and I was doing a reading and I realized that there was this car that was, parked in front of the house so they could, and I could see the car, and I realized that there was this guy in the car that had been staring at me and kind of watching me film the whole time. And he was like texting, and then, and it was like kind of weird, and he looked kind of weird. He had like the gold sunglasses that were kind of bedazzled, and when he got out he had the shirt that was like 2 sizes too small, so it was like way too tight, bro. And it also had like the bedazzling, and he had the bedazzled jeans. Yeah, and then he kept staring at me and I felt really awkward, and I was like, number 1, you're kind of a creeper. Number 2, hey, so I'm just doing a tarot reading in my front yard. You know, move along, sir. You know, so yeah. So tell me about your most awkward woo-woo moment. So that's it from me. That is the 21 questions from Olive. Definitely check out her channel. I tried to make this as quick as possible, but you know, it is 21 questions. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you would like to catch a reading with me, don't forget to click on that link down below that will take you directly to my website or my Etsy shop. And if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to get yourself subscribed, and I will catch you spiritual ninjas later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.